Breaking news, breaking news. Authorities have now confirmed that there is a viral flu flying around and infecting everyone in the tri-state area.
Hello? Can y'all hear me? Hey, this your boy Big Rod on the scene in New York right now. I'm getting news that it is actually affecting more than the tri-state area. It's affecting everybody in the world. The symptoms of this viral outbreak is zombies, cuz that's the symptoms. Niggas is zombies out here. At first I thought, it's New York City, so everybody out here just basically be zombies anyway. But then I got robbed at infection point. I know y'all probably confused, like what does that even mean? It's like I got robbed, but instead of a gun, he had a syringe with his blood in it. Back to you at the studio there, Tom. Now everyone, I need you guys to evacuate your homes, get your snacks, and strap in because this is World War Z. Enter World War Z, a world in which everyone is getting affected and turning into zombies. They aren't regular zombies. I know you're probably thinking maybe Walking Dead, even Shaun of the Dead, even Zombieland. No, that is not what this is. These zombies have infinite stamina and are incredibly durable and strong, with the sole desire to infect any and everybody around them. This is our main character, Jerry Lane, aka Brad Pitt, aka God damn, he fine. And he has a wife and 2 daughters. Now they were just having a regular afternoon riding around the town because it's his daughter's birthday. And I'm assuming that they didn't think anything was wrong because yes, they've been hearing about the infections on the news, but the traffic, this isn't out of the ordinary for New York City. But no, that is not what's going on. What's really happening is everyone is being infected right now, and the outbreak has reached a critical climax, one in which people are getting ran over by trucks. Bro, look at these zombies. They are literally latching themselves onto cars and headbutting the glass. So my man takes his family and they jump into an RV and they try to dip out of town. As they should, because clearly the city cannot be contained. Bro, I know that everything was gonna go wrong when there is a guy in a giant helicopter with a military grade machine gun saying, "Containment failed." Bro sounded like a Black Ops mission went wrong. Now, Jerry used to work for the UN. He was somebody that would go and infiltrate different countries and, peacefully, quote unquote, make people cooperate. By cooperate, I mean he would infiltrate and research places while also murdering anybody that didn't agree with him. This is America. So they call him on the phone and they tell him that they're going to try to get his family evacuated into a safe place. What they didn't tell him is they're doing this because they need his help with something. That's going to come up later. Don't worry about it. Right now, they're going through it because his daughter is having an asthma attack in the back of this RV. Shorty is hyperventilating, and at first I thought it's because she heard my mixtape and realized how great it was. But then I realized that no, she clearly has asthma. So they pop up in this pharmacy, and I ain't gonna lie. As soon as he walked in here looking for the asthma medicine, here come a random ass dude with a strap out. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro had the strap out like he worked at Red Light District. And I ain't gonna hold you, bro looked like a meth addict. I'm not gonna lie, he looked like one of the people that hang out with Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad. But he's actually here to help. He gave him all the asthma medicine he needed, and he even told him some extra stuff to administer to his daughter to help out. But the people in the grocery store are not as helpful. This is why my man Brad Pitt had to literally go John Wick style and murder everyone in this grocery store. Okay, not everyone, it was like maybe 2 or 3 people, but oh my God, is that a police officer? Oh my God, sir, I just had to defend myself, okay? Man, get out of my way, cuz, I don't care about that. I'm trying to get some vitamins, cuz. What do you need vitamins for? We're in a zombie apocalypse, man, shut your ass up, move, I'm trying to get the zinc. You know what they say about that zinc, man? You take a little bit of zinc and it help your PP not shrink, you feel me? Now at this point, they decided that they had to leave this grocery store, but there's a bunch of random zombies running and chasing them in the streets. So they decided going to this apartment building that is rat infested. I've seen at least 3 master splinters since they entered this. I don't know if this is an apartment building or the hangout for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but either way, it clearly isn't someplace they need to be. Oh my God, why are all these zombies chasing after them like this? Do they have flares? Yo, they kind of going crazy right now, I ain't gonna lie. Now they end up losing their daughter in the midst of all this happening, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs, "Let me in, let me in." Let you in where? Where are you at? And they end up in front of some family's home. Normally I wouldn't let any outsiders in my crib when there's a zombie infestation going on. But I guess this family's just like, screw it. They seem like we can trust them enough. How do you know they don't have the disease on them? I mean, I guess it kind of does take effect of your body pretty quickly. So if they were zombies, they would have already been zombies. But that's besides the point, because we don't really know how this thing works. Besides the fact that we've seen half of New York go from meth heads and when addicts to zombies in 2.5 seconds. But that doesn't mean that, you know what, I digress. Anyways, the next morning, my man Brad Pitt finds his daughter asleep in the bathroom with this little boy that they met. And I'm not going to hold you. Me being the father that I would be, I would probably have an issue with this. Like, oh, you think that you can just sleep with my daughter in here because it's a zombie apocalypse, bitch ass nigga? No. But you know, that's why I wouldn't be in this movie, because I probably would end up getting all of us killed because I'm petty. Now, the family decided that they were going to stay in their apartment, which I think is stupid and asinine because clearly these zombies are going to get in here. They have been gone maybe 2 minutes and there's zombies banging on your door already. You guys are cooked. Should have just let your kid go with them at least. But now look at you, getting eaten alive by zombies in your stupid studio apartment. Imagine paying $3,000 a month to have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in a really crappy building in New York, and you did all of that just to get eaten alive by zombies. The only time that I want to be eaten alive by zombies is if my girl is a zombie and it's Halloween. Anyways, they're on their way to the rooftop, and my man Brad and his family get involved with some zombies, which leads to some of the zombie blood getting into Brad Pitt's mouth. You better pray to God it's not a bloodborne pathogen, because if you swallowed that blood, you might be cooked. I never understood this part, because I'm like, okay, if the blood got in his mouth, did he just spit it out? Does it not work that way? Does it have to like get in a cut or something? Like, I really don't understand. Or is it like something like, can they sneeze on me and I get it? I just don't understand it, bro. I don't know. But either way, I'm not going to question it because it's a movie and clearly it's fiction. And whatever they want to happen is what's going to happen. So they end up going to this big ass naval base. Like, look at this big ass boat. And they learn very quickly why they called him here. It wasn't because they want his family to be safe. I mean, maybe that's part of it. But they really want him to lead an expedition to find out what has caused this virus and how to stop it. You know, it's not that bad, honey. It's bigger than our apartment back on 72nd. Yeah, and it doesn't smell like shit, so I guess it's fine. Be right back, honey. I'm gonna go talk to Theory about what's going on and why everybody is freaking out. All right, man, this is what's going on. So the whole world is infected. Water's dirty, no food. I mean, we are screwed. Literally going to die. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we're gonna lose probably hundreds of millions of people, all right? Now, our first course of action was going to be to nuke everything. But then we were like, okay, that's kind of dumb because we'll probably kill ourselves. So then we were like, all right, we're just going to hide on these boats. But that ain't really working. We're running out of food here too. We're going to need you to go with these Navy SEALs and figure out what's going on, all right? Bro, I do not want to do that, man. I'm just trying to chill with my family, you know, play a little Xbox. No, listen. I think you don't understand. There are a lot of people waiting for bunks on these ships. You know what I'm saying? So the only way that you're gonna keep your family safe is if you working for us. If you don't work, then you gonna get jerked. You understand? So if I don't work for y'all, I'm gonna get a happy ending? All right, that sounds good to me. And just like this, he realizes that he's gonna have to go with these people and help them figure out what's going on with this virus. You see, my man Brad Pitt doesn't wanna go, but if he doesn't go, his family's gonna get kicked off of this boat, which is some bullshit. Me personally, I'm not going out like that. They would have just had to kill me on there, which probably is what would have happened because it's just me, my wife, 2 kids, and we're facing an entire military force. But I mean, that's besides the point. He gives his wife a phone so he can contact her, kisses her goodbye, and then hops straight on the jet. Now they're going with this virologist. Virologist. You know what? I'm just going to call him a doctor, bro. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Your boy Sin can only read it in pictures, but that's besides the point. Now they're on the jet and he's discussing with him that things could get crazy and that he needs to listen to him, not to get trigger happy with the gun that he's going to give him, and just to, you know, try to be safe. Famous last words. Foreshadowing. And the doctor's explaining to him that this whole figuring out this virus thing is kind of like a murder mystery, you know? There's breadcrumbs being left by nature, like it wants to be found out. Now, while Jerry's family is back struggling on this big ship and all the non-essential personnel are getting shipped off to concentration camps, crazy, I know, they pull up to South Korea, bro. And the first thing he tells his doctor is to keep his finger off the trigger of the gun. So nothing bad happens. Now they get off of this jet and literally 2 seconds in, they get attacked by a bunch of zombies. And that doctor that he told to keep his finger off the trigger did not keep his finger off the trigger. And he's dead. Yep. Just like that, he accidentally killed himself because he fell and shot himself in the head. Kind of crazy when you think about it, but that might have been their only help. Now, the thing that he told my man Jerry about the breadcrumbs and how it'll give you hints on figuring it out is very important. It will come up later. Now, they take Jerry into this back room where all the infecteds are, and oh my God, what the fuck? What is this? Bro, is this mold growing on him? Like, what is going on? Now, before he leaves, he ends up running into a guy who is involved with the CIA. You see, he got caught selling guns to North Korea. Now, this dude explains that North Korea is thriving because they pulled all the teeth out of every person in North Korea in less than 24 hours. Crazy, I know, because how did
did they even do that? First off, how did you find everybody? Also, how did you pull all of their teeth out like that? You know what? That's crazy, but I understand. We also get a little bit more information and we find out that they have to bite you in order to spread this virus. Seems like without teeth, can't spread it. Now, he explains to him that he needs to go see someone in Israel, that in Israel, they basically have shut off their entire country from the world, and that's why there's no one infected there. So that's where we're going next. And for some reason in this next scene, I have no idea why they're doing this, but they decided that riding bikes was going to be the answer to keeping these zombies away from this jet. I guess it's just a distraction, maybe? I still don't really understand this. Like, how is me turning into Michael Phelps going to keep zombies from killing us all? Anyways, they get on the jet, and luckily, these zombies don't infect them or murder them. Now, he's flying over to Israel, and he ends up getting on the phone with his wife. Hey, babe, yeah, Korea didn't really work out, and we're on our way to Israel. Oh my God, you're on your way to Israel? Yeah, apparently they shut off their entire country from the rest of the world. Oh yeah, free Palestine, by the way, but that's besides the point. That goes without saying on this channel. And just like that, they landed in Israel. All right, man, cut the crap, all right? How does Israel know that there was going to be a zombie outbreak? All right, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I had no idea, okay? The only reason why I even had the idea to close off the country is because in history, every time Israel doesn't listen or doesn't do something, we end up getting screwed for it. In 1973, we saw some Arab movements, didn't do anything, terrorist attacks. I'm just saying, man, we don't do nothing. We're never proactive. We're always reactive, and then it's too late. This time I said, nah, screw that. I'm about to make sure that we safe. So I built the big giant wall. Hey, you think that this wall is going to hold all these really fast, durable, smart zombies? Yep. Been working so far. Famous last words. Foreshadowing. So he goes and he shows Jerry this big giant gate where they're letting people come in, saving them from being affected by zombies. Now, the problem is these zombies are actually pretty intelligent. So while all of these people are here praying and singing and praising, we run into a lot of problems. And by problems, I mean these zombies have used their own bodies to stockpile and make a ladder of flesh to get over these gates. Now, the zombies weren't too worried about it, because they weren't making a bunch of noise. But as soon as these people got on the microphone and started singing Kumbaya, my lord, every zombie in a 5-mile radius was like, oh, nah, cuz they tripping right now. They over there singing. Oh, we about to go get they at. Really, it sounded like, but you know what I mean. And that's exactly what happened. The zombies used their bodies, made a ladder, and have now infiltrated Israel. Oh yeah, everyone here is chopped. You're cooked. It really doesn't matter how much firepower you have. I mean, these zombies are literally overwhelming all of you with nothing but force. Now, my man Jerry is clearly needing to get out of Israel, but it's going to take a lot of firepower, time, and vigilance. And also Segan helping him get out of town until she got her arm scratched and he had to cut her entire hand off. Oh my God. Now she kind of looks like Mega Man, like she's got a cannon on her arm. So anyways, him and Segan escape the city and they end up getting on a nearby airplane, a public commercial airplane that was headed to a different part of the world. Now you're probably wondering, how did he know that cutting her hand off was going to actually stop the spread? Well, he didn't know, but he just took the chance and it actually worked. Who would have thought? Cutting off the infected part of someone's body would keep the infection from going to the other parts of it. Wow, so smart. Now we're sitting on this plane with Segan. At this point, I mean, he probably feels like they're screwed. Like, what do we do next? And that's exactly what I thought. Then it hit him like a brain blast. Bro had a brain blast moment like he's in Jimmy Neutron. And he realizes that the zombies don't interact with infected people or people with ailments. Every time he's seen people not get bothered by the zombies, it's been somebody that's been sick, elderly, some sort of ailment. Like you remember the drunk that was sitting outside of the building in New York, or the old guy in Israel, or even that sick kid when they were trying to escape the city. It all starts to make sense. The zombies are more like a parasitic. They need a host that's healthy so they don't bother with people that are sick. Oh my God. All we got to do is all have sex with Mia Khalifa and we will never be bothered again. After he gets off the phone with the UN and he gets them to talk to the pilot, they decide that they're going to land somewhere where there's a WHO research facility where he can talk to them and explain what's going on. This normally would be fine, it's great. He's figured out what's happening and he can talk to somebody about it. And then people started turning on the plane. What the fuck is that? Somebody put subtitles on this guy. He said, hey, cuz, I'm about to smoke anybody within arm's reach. I'm putting straight infection on shit, cuz. And that's exactly what happened. Oh my God, they're turning on the plane. What is up with all these goddamn zombies on this goddamn plane? Or like Samuel L. Jackson right then.
Now, obviously, these zombies being on the plane is going to lead to the plane having to do an emergency landing. And that's what happened. They all crash landed. There's even a woman that's stuck right now that's infected. Look at her freaking out. Now, my man Jerry lands, bro, but there's a huge piece of metal in his stomach, reaching out to his back. Oh my God. Luckily for him, Segan landed and she's actually okay. So she saves his life, just like he saved hers, by taking him to the WHO research facility, where he shortly passes out from blood loss. Now, it's been 48 hours since they've heard from Jerry, and at this point, they think that it's a possibility he could be dead. And because of this, they make all non-personnel leave the ship once again, and this time his family has to leave also, which is crazy because he's literally risking his life for the country. Can't even believe it. It's actually some bullshit, but I mean, you know, it is what it is, I guess. So at this point, my man Jerry done woke up and he's strapped to some bed. He has no idea what's going on, and clearly neither do I, because where is he at right now? But why they got him strapped like it's a BDSM video about to happen? Okay, at least they cleaned his wound up though. Got him patched up. Oh my God. Who are you? Hey man, the dude in there, he woke up. He woke up? All right, hold on, I'm not gonna talk to him. Man, who are you, man? Hey, there was a woman with me, man. Where's she at? Don't worry about her, she good. Tell me who you are, man. Stop playing. Oh, ain't nobody playing, man. Listen, bro, I need to use the phone. I need to talk to my family. And I'll let you talk to him in a minute. How long I been out? I don't know, like 2-3 days, man. So they get on the phone with the UN and he explains to him who he is and who they have in their possession. And oh no, clearly this is screwed up because they done sent his family to some sort of concentration camp. Or they have like these camps where they send people to protect them. Bro, they ain't gonna be protected here. All it takes is one zombie to turn and it's over. Next thing you know, it's a snowball effect of a bunch of people looking like meth addicts. Now he's there and he explains to them the weakness of these zombies. This is what I told you guys earlier, that they need a healthy host. And that's why they avoid people with illnesses. Now he thinks that if you put these people and you infect them with a minor illness, something that won't kill them, something they could live with, that these zombies won't even be attracted to them. It's like a kind of a living, breathing camouflage, so to speak. It's like being a felon and trying to get a job. It's like an invisible veil over you that makes you not be seen. Now, there's this bridge that they need to get to where these viruses, these diseases are. The problem is there are infected zombies all throughout here. But they decide that they're going to suit up their arms like they're in prison. These dudes done strap magazines to their arms, bro. They're making body armor like they are incarcerated. Yo, bro is about to fight these zombies with a fireman axe. Like, what does he think he's about to do with that? Also, can you even kill these zombies? Like, I haven't seen anybody really smoke them. Like, but does that even do anything? Maybe if you cut their head off, they'll die. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You know, they don't have a brain anymore. You know what? I don't know. Bro, they are literally walking around here and you just hear zombies in the background. Bro, they might be in the other room making a studio album. Now they're running and eventually they do get encountered by zombies. Look at this dude chasing after my man Jerry right now. Yo, this old dude kind of going oh my God. I said that and then my man Jerry smoked his ass with a crowbar. Uh-oh, who was that down the hall? Oh, nah. So my man Jerry trying to get this crowbar back and oh my God, Weave, come here. Hey, yo, he hit him with a straight curb stomp. Bro, he stepped on the back of this zombie head like he was landing on Plymouth Rock. God damn. Now Segan and this other guy, they're running through and I ain't gonna hold you. My man Segan kind of going crazy with one arm. She got the strappy dude, you know, that mouse Cthulhu. Oh my God. Why are there so many infected here? Now Segan and the other guy managed to get back somehow. But my man Jerry, he said, screw that. I'm gonna get to where I need to go. Now he ends up pulling up the V139. This is where they keep these little viruses and infections at. Now all he has to do is infect himself with something and then it should work. Voila. Nothing to be able to see him. I mean, they'll see him, but they'll just avoid him because he's not a healthy host. Kind of makes sense when you think about it. I mean, if you were a zombie and you wanted a living host so you could, you know, live longer, would you want to be with someone that was, you know, a triathlete, someone with a healthy internal, or Mia Khalifa? I'm just saying. Now he grabs a bunch of viruses and he's about to leave, but there's some infected guy at the door waiting on him. So he's like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna just shoot myself with one of these things and hopefully it'll work. Bro, you have no idea what virus you're about to inject yourself with. You just gonna do it anyway? So he's like, screw it. Gets a piece of paper out and he's like, hey, tell my family I love them.
Bro about to risk his own life just to prove if this works or not. So he puts his syringe in, takes that shit out, and stabs himself in the arm. And just like that, him and Mia Khalifa have the same diseases. Now this infection isn't going to take too long because he put it directly in his bloodstream. A good amount of it too. Bro was sitting in there sick for real. He don't even feel right. So he takes the case and he walks over to the door. And it looks like the zombie isn't even really reacting to him. This dude walked right past this zombie like nothing happened. Goes into the hallway, gets a soda. Yo, this dude kind of going crazy right now. Makes a whole lot of noise so the zombies know he's near. And then he just walks in the hallway and they all avoid him. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Now, I don't really understand how this works. Like, I'm assuming that, you know, they basically get infected and then they get cured of the infection, but it's still like in their body maybe, so the zombies don't react to them. Like, I really don't understand how it works, but to this day, somebody in the comment section explain this to me because I don't get it. Anyways, he goes and he gets to meet all of his family and everything worked out. Kind of. I mean, they lost entire cities and people are dying, but it is what it is. You know, you only just have to get H1N1 or smallpox and you don't get turned to a zombie. Yay.